Hello again, it's Friday, so that means it's Friday Paravlog time again. This week, I thought we'd take a look at some very creepy PSB11 sessions I have done in the past. Now, the PSB11, it's basically what is known as a spirit box. Basically, it's very similar to the SB7 in terms of it is actually basically a radio which is inside a box with a speaker, of course, and it sweeps through stations, and we can adjust the settings of the sweep. We can control the speed at which it sweeps through these stations, and we can control the station which we want it to sweep through. So we can have it set to AM, we can have it set to FM, or we can have it set to AM, FM, and a bloody fly just flew straight through past my face. I don't know if it picked it up on camera, but yes. Anyway, so the PSB11, here it is. Now, I've had mine for quite a few years now, and when I first got it, I was a little bit skeptical of it. I didn't rate it a lot because while I was trying it at home and experimenting with it and getting used to it, I wasn't getting any credible responses coming through at all. In fact, I wasn't getting anything coming through. It was just basically white noise. And originally, it come with its own aerial, but mine over time broke, as equipment does over time. Through sheer clumsiness, and when you're fiddling around in the dark trying to get stuff and you're falling over and everything, obviously your equipment can take a tumble at times as well. But basically I customized mine after my aerial broke. So I made my own homemade aerial out of a white wire coat hanger, and it does the job perfectly well. In fact, I would even go as far to say as that it actually made it work better. Whether it's because of the size of it, it could well be, I don't know. But basically, it's weird because it actually kind of went into the shape of a ghost as well. It's lost its shape over time where I bend it around and everything. But yeah, if you see what I mean, it's very similar to the Indico Paranormal Ghost logo shapes. So yeah, but that works absolutely fantastic. So do not fear if you have equipment and it breaks, your aerials break, customize. You know, think outside the box and think of other ways how you can utilize your equipment. Now, PSB11 box, as I was saying, basically this has two radios inside it. And what we can do is have both radios working, or we can just have one working if we want. It doesn't matter. But the credibility with this actual device is actually because it is two radio stations playing at once together. And when you've got both radio stations playing and you're sweeping through two stations or using two radios at a time and you're getting credible responses, that makes it even more credible than just using the one radio box. So I really, really like this device. This is one of my favorite ghost hunting tools. Now, the way it works is very simple when you get the hang of it. So you have channel 1 and you have channel 2. You have AM and FM. You have the sweep rate. You can have it set to sweep in reverse or forward. You have your your volume controls here. That's your power button. This down here tells you the sweep setting that you've got it on. So this will tell you your sweep speed, which is measured in milliseconds. And you can have it set at either 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, or 300 on this side. And that's for the the FM sweep. And for the AM sweep, you can have it set from 50 all the way up to 350. So what we do, or what I do basically, is I'll turn it on. Okay, I'll usually set it to AM, FM initially, and I'll then usually set one side to forward and one side to reverse. So we've got two radio stations which are being swept continuously, but one is being swept in a forward motion and one is being swept in a backwards motion. So if you go back to old-fashioned radios or even radios in your car, I mean, my car radio has actually got a round knob button on it, which I can use to adjust the station channels to. And basically, as you turn that, that is sweeping through every individual frequency within the radio waves. So that is how a sweep box works. Instead of it then stopping, so when you release that button and you stop, it's stopped. Okay, so instead of it stopping, it's continuously sweeping. And that is where your speed setting comes into it, because you can have it on a low speed setting or a high speed setting. But what I find is with each individual location, I like to change my settings about, because I believe the way the spirits and ghosts work to actually manipulate and come through and speak to us on this box is, I believe that they can work at the different frequencies within the radio waves. So you might have some working on a faster frequency, and you might have some working on a slower frequency. So therefore, it's important that when you get to a location, you adjust it accordingly until you can start actually hearing snippets of which actually makes sense audibly to your ears. The next step then, once you've actually found a good sweep rate and you're either on AM, FM or AM, you then need to actually start investigating properly, using it intelligently. Now, by intelligently, what I mean is not just sitting there and just listening and seeing what it's coming out with and guessing what's radio, guessing what could be spirit. You need to start interacting with the spirits at the location. So you need to speak to them as though you're speaking to another person verbally, okay? It's not stupid to do this, okay? When you initially start ghost hunting, you feel really silly. You know, you're calling out, you're talking to nothing, things that you can't see there. Excuse me, I think I'm spitting. Ooh, I'm getting excited. You're talking to things that you can't visibly see with your eyes. So if you're having a one-on-one conversation with a real person, obviously you can see them visually with your eyes. So when you're talking to them, obviously you don't feel stupid. But when you're trying to conjure up a communication with something you can't see, but the energy is there present, it's a little bit more difficult. So this is where this then acts as your ears. Okay, so you get to your location, you find the best settings for that location, for the spirits that are there. Once you then start hearing intelligent or certainly words coming through, you then start interacting with spirit. So you could start off by saying, "Hi, my name's Sadie. I'm coming to your home, wherever it may be. I'm coming to see you. I can't physically see you with my own eyes, but if you're here, please do come and use this in my hand as your voice. Use this to speak to me." So you could then start your questions. So you could say, "Did you live here?" You could get a yes or a no response. "Did you work here?" You could get a yes or a no response. Then move on to bigger questions, okay? So questions where you're wanting full sentence responses to come through. So you could then say something like, "What's your name?" Okay, it might give you a first name. It might give you a first name and a second name. To then clarify that actually you may be speaking with a spirit at this location, you need to actually get the spirit to confirm basically that it's them you're speaking to. So by confirm that it's them you're speaking to, ask them to repeat something you say, such as, "Can you say my name, please? Sadie Forth." And if it then says Sadie Forth back, bang on, you've got an excellent, intelligent response from spirit, which is very, very credible. There is no way that any radio stations that are being swept can intelligently respond with an intelligent word to a question that you have just asked. So remember that. That's where you can distinguish the difference between an intelligent spirit that may be there communicating with you or just random radio snippets that are coming through. So that's where the ghost hunting credibility side comes into using these devices. Now, what I will say as well, which is very, very important, when you first start off ghost hunting, there's so many different pieces of equipment and things like that out there that you can use. But what I would say is one of your first and foremost pieces of equipment you need to get is a night vision full spectrum camera. And what you're going to use this for is not to film yourself and say, hey, look at me, I want to be an actress, I want to be in a film, I want to be in a documentary. You know, I do documentaries and stuff like that, but I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm actually doing it because this is my passion and interest to prove that spirits exist based on my past experiences. I won't go into that at the moment. If you want me to do another vlog on that, why I do this and the way I do it, I'm more than happy to do that. So basically, get yourself a night vision full spectrum camera. Now, what you need to do is anything you go out and do, you need to record it, because it is so important to have it recorded to your camera. Because what you can then do is you can take that footage, you can go home, you can load it up on your computer, and you can fully analyze it. So by doing that, when you're out ghost hunting and you are using this sort of equipment, you can't always hear necessarily intelligent, credible responses that have come through. So that's why it's important to watch it back. Really important in case you've missed something audibly with your own ears at the time. Also, when you have had intelligent, credible responses which you believe you've heard on the night, it's also very important that it's recorded so that you can look back at that to clarify and confirm that that is actually what you were hearing. Because sometimes, a lot of the times, what you're hearing physically at that time may be completely different to what's actually being said to you. So again, that is why it's really important to record everything you do. So first and foremost, get yourself a night vision full spectrum camera. I would then say get a PSB11 spirit box. That's my personal favourite. They are quite costly. They're about £120, I believe, or mine was when I got mine quite a few years ago. But you don't have to get one of those. Get yourself an SB7. Look for cheaper versions. In fact, get just a normal radio, and you can actually modify radios now yourself so that they can continuously sweep. And just get used to your equipment that you have and how it works and interacts with you and spirit in various different situations and locations. And that is very important. Another thing I would actually recommend you get is to get an EMF K2 device because they're very good. Now, understanding EMF is a completely different thing altogether, and you really do need to understand and learn what EMF means and what these different readings mean and how different things can cause high EMF spikes. Because when you actually look into it properly and learn about it properly, it's not actually what you think. It's quite you need to understand false positives basically from your K2 meters. So you need to understand that if you're in an area where you're close, you could be close to a power source in a wall that's hidden, and that could be giving off a high EMF. So that is something different. That could be another video I'm happy to make again. So EMF, a spirit box of some kind, definitely your night vision full spectrum camera. And another thing with the full spectrum camera, what you've got to remember is that is acting as your eyes and your ears also. I have had some fantastic EVP responses on my night vision cameras in the past, and they have been really clear, and things that I haven't necessarily heard at the time. Now, when you're out investigating a location, a lot of the time an EVP will come through very quietly. So other noises also, which may not be an EVP or a ghost speaking, such as your tummy rumbling or you burping or letting off wind, or just anything can be picked up to audio. So it's important when you're out investigating to make a note of any noises which you have made, or any little whispers and things like that. That's why when you're investigating with a lot of people, it can be very, very hard to distinguish a credible EVP. So yeah, that's another different thing. I'm going off on a right tangent this week, I tell you. Anyway, back to the basics, back to what this week's vlog is about. So I want to show you some very creepy, intelligent responses I have had through the PSB11 books. Now, these are just snippets from our investigation we conducted at Munsley Coronation Hall at the start of, it was last year. Basically, we got some really, really good results there. And that is one of my favourite PSB11 sessions I have done. So when I say creepy, I mean creepy as in the sense that they're saying words that relate to a negative energy, a negative spirit, something I believe is or was attached to myself and Becky. When you start messing with this stuff, it's not kids play, it's not a game, it's exciting, yeah. But when you really, really, really get into it and you really start discovering things and seeing those things affect your lives personally, it can become very scary, I would say. It can become draining. It can become like you've opened up a Pandora's box and you're not quite sure what the hell you're doing, why you're doing it, and you're thinking, why, you know, I've got a normal life to live here, why am I trying to talk to dead people or trying to talk to these negative energies and things? But that is one thing you have to ask yourself as well, why you first get into ghost hunting. Why are you really doing this? Is it just because you want a quick thrill, a bit of excitement? If that's why, go on events. There's many credible companies out there who do fantastic ghost hunting events at various different locations. But if you want to do it on a deeper level, like I do and many other individuals do in the actual field, then it's a completely different scenario altogether. So do bear that in mind when you get to ghost hunting. Okay, right, I'll shut up now. Have a watch of these clips. Tell me what you hear and what you think. Very interesting. Who's that? Did you live here in this village? I can hear that creepy man's voice. Who are you? Are you trying to scare us? Yes, yes. Who are you trying to scare the most tonight? How many of you are here? Did anybody die here? Has anybody died here? Tell me, where do we go when we die? Turn this off now. We want to see you show yourself on camera. Can you do that? So yeah, thanks for watching this week's Friday Paravlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. I look different again, as always. I'm forever dyeing my hair, if you hadn't noticed. That's not a real tattoo. That's one of those stick-on things. I just really like it because there's a blue butterfly, and it reminds me of my mum, because my mum always said she'd come back and show herself in the form of a blue butterfly when she passed. So yeah, anyway, I look different again. I've got makeup on this week. I feel a bit more presentable. That's the word I was looking for last week. So yeah, thank you for watching as always, and if you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you want to continue watching more things that I do. What else? Share it if you've liked it as well. Get other people involved to come and comment. It's great reading your feedback. I love reading feedback, no matter, you know, if it's good or crap or whatever. Everybody's got their own opinions. It doesn't bother me, but I will always respond if I can, as and when I can anyway. So yeah, that's it. I think I've talked enough. So yeah, do let me know if there's a subject you'd like me to do a vlog on, and I will try my best to do it. So yeah, thanks for watching this week, and it's bye for now.